This is Face the Music. What does Madeline think? Because nobody will give you a more brutally honest opinion about a song than a 12-year-old girl. In the Hall of the Mountain King. I'm Eric Paul Johnson.
I'm Madeline.
And before we get into this week's song, remind everybody about our Patreon site, patreon.com/ELOpod. Everything's commercial free. You get expanded episodes with lots of great extra goodies that you can only get at patreon.com/ELOpod. All right. Now, before I pull Henry's tail to tell him to get out of there, before we get into your current feelings about the song, let's see what you thought about it when you first heard it back in 2018. Like it? Hate it? What does Madeline think?
I like the song a lot and a lot and a lot.
Wow, she liked it! What are your feelings about the song now, here in 2024, when you're 12 years old?
The beginning, it just lost me. It felt like a techno kind of beginning, which I'm just like, what are you trying to achieve here? I'm not the kind of techno person, and I've heard this song before. What happened?
You're talking about the big wash of synthesizers at the beginning. Woo, 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 that kind of thing.
Yeah, and then it starts to have the beat coming up and all that. And then that beautiful and then the guitar starting to play, and then the drums and all that. Then the random violin that comes in.
Oh, yes, the violin solo.
Not the solo. I heard the violin before the solo even happened. The solo was beautiful.
Oh, okay. Good.
But before the solo happened, I still heard a random violin.
Well, I'm sure you did. They had one violin player.
It didn't feel like it fitted in that section, and that shouldn't be placed there. It doesn't feel correct. The reason why some of this, I'm like, this doesn't feel correct and all that, well, I have OCD.
Well, obviously so do I. Otherwise, I wouldn't keep doing a podcast for 7 years or 8 years about the same thing, about a certain band.
Yeah. Exactly. Everything else, it was good and all that. The real big upbeat at the end and all that. Not exactly at the end, but just like the big part of the upbeat. Y'all that play Among Us on the hide and seek version, if you're the seeker or all that, or if the seeker gets close to you, you know that upbeat music that plays? The upbeat music in this? That's what it reminded me of.
The build up near the end?
Yeah, the upbeat and all that reminded me of the hide and seek and Among Us. And
that's why you're here. You're getting the youth audience that I cannot bring in because my video game knowledge kind of cuts off at Pitfall 2 by Activision for the Atari 2600, which came out in 1984.
Well, that sucks.
Oh, Pitfall 2 is it's a great game. It's a lot of fun.
No, like that sucks. That's how bad your gaming knowledge is.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't much of a gamer after about 1984, 86. I did play a lot of Atari back before your mother was born.
'Cause, of course,
I'm old.
Yeah.
When it was playing, I saw you really get into it. You were doing air drumming and doing all kinds of air guitar, and you were having a good time listening to this song.
The reason why is because that was the good part that you can hear about the upbeat. Whenever an upbeat is starting or is happening, the main thing that you can hear is the drumming and the guitarist.
Mm-hmm. So, were you not crazy about that part between the big synthesizer and then where the drums kick in and the guitar kicks in, that quiet, moody part? Do, 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 do.
The dun, 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 dun. Yeah, parts of that I did not like due to what it was played. Like, for instance, why the flute? It was either the flute or the other thing I never remember the name of.
It was a synthesizer. There's no flute in this.
Oh, the synthesizer. No, it does not sound good with the song.
You didn't like it where it went?
With
that part before that.
it's just parts of it with the I can't say it.
Synthesizer.
It just didn't sound right. I could just feel like something was just completely wrong with that. They could have added a different instrument in there to kind of add up for the upbeat, like how they were doing, making it louder and louder and louder and louder.
Right.
They can also do that with different instruments and didn't have to be a synthesizer.
Right.
I'm mad at myself. I've been mad at myself today.
You'll get it. It's eventually. Well, I've always loved the song. The first time I heard it was November 1984 when I was 15 and your mom was 3 months into being a fetus, I believe, if my math in my head works out right.
When does it?
I know. But I loved it. I loved all of it. I thought it was a fun song. And I love that moody part between the big wash of synthesizers and then when Bevan kicks in on the drums and the song gets really going. Because I think the really fun part about it was, besides taking a classical song and turning it into a banger rock song, was when you first hear it, you really don't know where this is going to go. And fortunately, it goes in fun places instead of in long, drawn-out, tedious places.
Which long, drawn-out, tedious places is just noises, basically. It just feels like, oh, random drum, random flute, random guitar, random cello.
So, now, at age 12...
Like it, hate it, what does Madeline think?
Now...
I'm in between. The first part, it was just, what are you trying to achieve? The middle part, the upbeat with the drums and the guitarist, I like that. I'll say, yeah, I like that part. At the end, I'm kind of getting a little bit lost there, not by much. So I'm gonna say, as you like to put it, meh.
Face the Music, What Does Madeline Think? Is a production of Radio Trolla Entertainment, Assorted Deli Meats Amalgamated. You can contact us by voicemail at 623-850-3375 or email us at eloftmpodcast@gmail.com. Keep up to date by joining our Facebook and MeWe groups and spread the word by sharing the link or giving us a quick rating on iTunes. Subscribe to our YouTube page, the Electric Light Orchestra podcast channel, to hear other goodies. You can financially support the podcast at patreon.com/ELOpod or PayPal using the podcast email address, or send a check or money order to P.O. Box 1932, Superior, Arizona 85173. Next week, Ordinary Dreams.
It's you and Pitfall Herring together again.
Rhonda! She must be dead!
In Pitfall 2 Lost Caverns.
Oh, electric eels. Where's Rhonda? Not bats. Amazon frogs. Oh, dead end. A balloon. Gold in the Raj diamond. Condors? Feet don't fail me now. Which way do we go?
Pitfall 2 Lost Caverns. Explore David Crane's newest from Activision.